Should we bring him up for a couple of minutes? The world will see if I'm months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Real quick, before we get started, I've covered just about everything concerning this assassination attempt on Citizen Journalist, my other YouTube channel. So I know you're probably gonna think that I'm leaving a lot of, details out in this video, but I've already covered them in other videos that you have not seen. Okay, these are simply new details and new facts that I've discovered over the past few days. So here we go. The nocturnal news. Now, before we start, I have created another YouTube channel. I've mentioned it before. It's called Citizen Journalist. I'm going to leave a link in the comment section and in the box below, and hopefully you guys support my new YouTube channel. Now, this isn't a Republican or a Democratic channel. It's simply a channel about the truth, an unbiased look at what's going on in the world, and hopefully after bringing you nothing but the truth and transparency about the UFO topic over the past 3 or 4 years, I've earned your trust and support. So please simply head over there and subscribe. So let's get to the video. Alright, Jonathan Crooks posted on a Steam account July 13th, "will be my premiere." Basically announced what he was going to do. Okay, prior to the shooting, he was searching a former high school shooter to see if his parents would be held legally responsible for giving him the gun. Okay, this was totally premeditated. We now know that his father gave him the rifle because his father thought he was going to the range for practice, as he did on a regular basis, which, by the way, 100% legal. Okay, now we know flags and tractors are usually intentionally or purposely put in the line of sight from potential snipers, just like the John Deere tractor with the blown hydraulic hose. Again, we're just going over some.
Take a look what happened. Take a look what happened.
Okay. He was searching adult content, okay, on the day of the event. Okay, we're talking again about Crooks. Okay, you typically have a line of sight range, a perimeter about 500 yards around the stage, but for some reason he was only 140 yards away, and according to the head of the Secret Service, they did not place a CS team or counter sniper team on the roof because, well, she said it was too slanted.
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point, and so there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof, and so the decision was made to secure the building.
Although the angle of this roof would be acceptable for a wheelchair ramp angle. That is correct. The pitch of the roof wasn't even steep enough for a wheelchair accessibility ramp. Okay, so again, total nonsense. Okay, we know that the command center in the task force was literally set up in the same building the sniper climbed onto. Yes, you heard me correct. The sniper was literally on the roof, and you had dozens of officers and agents below him, 10 to 15 feet below him, in the exact same building.
Yes, that they sent yes, Beaver County sniper seen and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay. All right.
Rifle's right there, obviously.
Got it. So the bike in the back. Is he on that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
I
you're
don't
just treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, one second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right, so if you go to that window that's open and yell for Greg, that's the sniper that sent the original pictures and seen him come from the bike and set the book back down.
Now, you're probably sitting at home. Look up at your ceiling. Imagine there's a sniper up there on your roof. I mean, it's just mind-blowing that this guy wasn't, apprehended prior, and we'll get into that. Okay, multiple eyewitnesses alerting law enforcement up to 5 minutes before the shooting that there was someone on the roof that had a literal gun.
I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful places, the gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look. There he is right there. Right there, you see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
There he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
On the roof.
It's much tougher than it.
Okay, and at no point did they think to notify Trump's security detail. We've also learned of a very suspicious man in a gray suit that was on the roof minutes after the shooting, demanding videos. He was an average shooter at the local firing range. He was flying a drone. The Secret Service did not have direct communication or comms to local police or Secret Service. The Secret Service did not, okay, I repeat, the Secret Service did not attend the morning briefing to figure out what channel they could all use for their communications. This is highly unusual.
A face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. So I think that was probably a pivotal point where I started thinking things were wrong, because that never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
No, not until after the shooting, I believe. Yeah.
And you heard what the man just said. I really want that to sink in. The Secret Service didn't even bother to attend the 10 a.m. security briefing the morning of the rally to get all of their ducks in a row. I mean, the overall incompetence and carelessness of that act alone, forget everything else, is baffling. Okay, Jill Biden was 40 miles away from the RNC, or from the event. The RNC was also happening, so Secret Service, look, they were stretched out pretty thin, almost like someone knew Trump would be vulnerable because of everything going on in the local area. You had Trump right there in Butler, Pennsylvania, Jill Biden 40 miles away, the RNC coming up, so they were spread pretty thin, but no excuse for all of these errors and this just incompetence. Okay, some would say intentional.
According to CBS News, Pittsburgh, KDKA, First Lady Jill Biden is visiting Pittsburgh on Saturday, the same day former President Donald Trump will be in Butler County for a rally. The White House announced on Wednesday that the First Lady will speak at an Italian Sons and Daughters of America dinner in
reports
Pittsburgh
of a
at 5
second
p.m.
shooter
Saturday.
on the water tower. Both of his parents were behavioral counselors. Okay, that's just some new details coming out. He was searching major depression disorder, according to the FBI and police. Okay, they're going through his phone. The guy rides up to the event with a backpack and a rifle and a gun case slinged over his back. The Secret Service took photographs of him up to an hour before the actual, shooting took place. I mean, this is insane. Before he fired 7 to 8 shots, he was encountered by local police on the roof. One local police officer had to hoist up another police officer on his shoulders, and Crooks pointed the rifle at the police. The police officer was hanging from the roof by his hands and then fell to the ground, and later he had to get stitches in his hand. Okay, this is a metal roof up there, corrugated metal. The cop is hanging from the roof. Okay, Crooks turns around, points the rifle at him. He drops to the ground, cuts his hand, turns around, and gets off 7 to 8 shots. Okay, again, Crooks, a 180 turn, fired 7 to 8 shots at Trump, and at this point, the snipers on the red roof, took Crooks into their sights.
And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Okay. Now, by the way, it was 6:11 p.m. when the bullets were fired, and they had pictures of this kid as early as 5 p.m. even earlier. He was flying a drone, had a rangefinder, a rifle bag over his shoulder. Very suspicious activity, one would say. Okay, had a van 1 mile away, explosives and IEDs. Also, he was found with a remote detonator. Okay, like what was plan B here? I mean, it seems like he only got off just a part of his plan. I mean, this is crazy. Look, it's not like he just woke up and said, oh, hey, I'm going to build a remote controlled bomb and plan this assassination on the same day. So obviously this took a lot of prep, a lot of planning, a lot of preparation. And I still think that he had outside help, okay, or had someone knowledgeable to assist him. I would go with the latter, no pun intended. Now, we've been looking for pictures of the bomb and the explosives that he had, but I think the FBI, that they've intentionally withheld them from the public because they're going to be very sophisticated, okay? And if they're sophisticated, that's probably going to prove or add credence to the fact that he had outside help, okay? I'm almost 100% certain we're going to discover he had a culprit or partner, whatever. Now, I heard rumors he also had overseas checking and banking accounts, okay? Now, again, is the Biden administration responsible for this? Because they're ultimately responsible for the Secret Service, or did they just have lax security because they were told to do so? I mean, just so many questions, so many red flags. They didn't even show up to the morning briefing on the day of the Trump rally. That is unheard of. Now, basically, this is what would have happened, okay? As soon as they spotted someone on the roof, they would communicate to Trump's team, to the Secret Service, hey, hold them, don't let them come out, okay? Because they knew Crooks was on the roof, several minutes, I want to say 2 minutes and 48 seconds before he came out. They knew there was a guy on the roof, but they had no way to communicate this to them. So they just let him, literally sent Trump out to the firing squad. I mean, this is just epic. You guys just have to understand what really happened, and the mainstream media isn't going to go into depth like this, okay? You have a former president giving a speech at a rally. He's a very high-targeted individual, and the Secret Service doesn't even bother, okay, attending the 10 a.m. briefing, and this has been confirmed, okay, by the Secret Service, by the FBI, by the Butler police. They didn't even show up, I mean, to say, hey, we're on Channel 3, Channel 4, whatever the comms are. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
A face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers whenever they arrived, and that never happened. That never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday?
No, not until after the shooting, I believe. Yeah.
There are just so many red flags. And this, again, isn't even a left or right issue or a Democratic versus Republican type thing. This is just simply an American thing, because what happened during that rally was simply unacceptable, regardless of your political beliefs or who you support or do not support. This should never happen in America. The lack of competence and security is off the effing charts, okay? I could easily make a part 2 to this video because new disturbing facts are coming out every single day. This is probably 10% of them. I could go live and talk for 3 hours about this, break everything down. But let me just, let me close with this. Okay, look, I have worked very hard to bring you guys the truth about the UFO topic. I would say my channel is at least top 10 on YouTube. I challenge anyone to prove otherwise. So I'm going to start incorporating different topics here at Nocturnal News, and I hope you stick with me and understand my ultimate goal is the same as it has always been, and that is simply getting to the truth. I am a real truth seeker, okay? It's not about playing politics or picking sides, or I'm pro-Trump or anti this or the whatever. I'm just right in the middle. I'm Switzerland. I'm neutral. Okay. I'm a fence sitter is what I am. I don't tie myself to any party, any political ideology, nothing like that. I just simply report what's going on. And what happened at this Trump event in Butler, Pennsylvania is simply unacceptable. It's un-American. Again, the incompetence is just embarrassing on a global stage. I mean, you have a 20-year-old kid that made his way onto a roof at this, what is it, AGR or ARG, whatever glass building. The Secret Service was literally in the same building. Like, he could have knocked on the roof and played knock knock with them. Like, who's there? Like, he was right above their heads. Okay. I mean, just the lack of competence here, again, off the charts. Okay. They had no way to communicate with Trump's team. Okay, and then after Trump was hit in the ear, they looked like the Three Stooges up there, just fumbling and bumbling around. Okay, and then unfortunately, yes, we had other people that were killed and even injured in the shooting. And I played in this video some of the I guess the AI rendering, the 3D rendering of that. I mean, this is just a terrible thing that happened, and there's so many new details coming out every day. In fact, there's a detailed inquiry that's online. I thought about reading it, live to you guys and just going over each and every part of it. And when you really take the time to learn the facts and learn the truth, it's astonishing. It really is. I mean, this is just one of the biggest failures of America. And again, it doesn't matter if you hate Trump, if you love Trump, or whatever your feelings are. This is simply unacceptable. We can't have, crazy people on the roof popping shots off at Americans, okay? And anyone who condones that, there's something, fundamentally broken in you and wrong with you. And I've seen people on Twitter, I've seen people on the news that were celebrating, saying things like, oh, should have been a better shot, or 2 more inches to the right and that would have been the best day of my life. Comments like this, horrible comments. So, all right, guys, again, I'm going to leave it there. The new channel is Citizen Journalist, and we're going to be covering all kinds of different topics. And so please join me over there. Thank you.